Try to block this wind from being too noisy during this live. No one's joining me live yet, but when you go back and see this video, this is my 4th day going live with my social experiment to see if I can gain traction with some of the things I've gone through with my own life and my own struggle, and see if it can help other people, providing information that I've learned and hopefully interact with you guys and help any way that I can. I am no weatherman, but it is definitely brisk, windy, and if you're out today, watch the weather, because I think it said right after lunchtime. It seems like it's kind of changing a bit, but right after lunchtime, supposed to get some pretty extreme weather. I'm not even going to go out there. It's going to be too windy. Golf ball size hail and possibility of tornadoes in our area here of northeastern Iowa. Whew. Breezy. I got a cover. It was recommended to put a little cover on the bottom of my phone here to block the wind. So that's the first thing I was thinking about, is this weather. The second thing I was thinking about is, how do you stay motivated? When the first thing you do when you wake up is feel negative. I woke up to messages from my ex-wife doing her classic ex-wife thing that she does. After being divorced for 8 years now, we still parent our children, but I never do it good enough. I've never been good enough in her eyes. And so, waking up and reading a discouraging message or something that, basically someone saying you're not good enough. But let's generalize and say, well, how do you deal with waking up and immediately having negative feelings or negative energy? Well, for me, I've learned to compartmentalize. So, man, I really hope this isn't too windy and blowing right in the microphone. But I guess we'll see once I get home and review the footage. For me, I compartmentalize, and so I don't need that right now. I know that's not true about me. So right away, I take that message and I start having feelings with it. Okay, that's wrong. My middle son lives with us full time, and my daughter just moved out of our house to go to college. But without getting into details of my kids and their decision to live with me, he's doing well, but she sees it differently. She sees the way that I should be handling that situation with him differently. Now, granted, she's got a few good points, but when you wake up to somebody, she didn't call me names, but she pointed my direction, saying, basically, you're failing, and you've always failed, and you'll probably continue to fail. So that's discouraging. So how do I shake that off and then come doing an inspiring message here to try to reach people? She even made a comment. Apparently she's seeing these videos, even though I have her blocked, because I don't like the drama. Somehow she still managed to see the videos. Anyways, I don't need to get into her comments at all. But the point of it is that we all have things in our life that happen and unforeseen or negative. And how do you shake that off and continue to be an impact in other people's lives? Or how to even have a positive day yourself? For me, I compartmentalize. I'm able to tuck that away and say, that's such a small area of my life, and it's a feeling. Feelings are fleeting. So you might have an emotion, let's say anger. All of a sudden something makes you angry. As a guy, I might get angry enough to where I'm ready to throw down and put somebody in their place. But you have to learn that that's not, just because it may be that acceptable, or you could do it, doesn't mean it's beneficial. So with the message this morning that wants to kind of bring me down, I immediately have to put it in its place and compartmentalize. It's not worth my time right now. It's not true. And I've got bigger things to focus on. I've got more exciting things to focus on. I've got an impact to make. My life means something to me and to other people. So I'm going to use my energy in a good way and not focus on that. All right, that was my little rant. So those are the two things that I woke up thinking. The weather and how crazy it might get out here. So watch out for the weather today if you're in the northeastern Iowa area. But for this little short video, this little short live, I wanted to talk about blueprints, and specifically blueprints for life. Blueprints, the description or the definition of blueprints are usually a 2D drawing of a dream or a plan of somebody's. So if I'm a builder, which I spent time in the construction arena, blueprints will be somebody's idea of how something should be built. And so then the builder takes the blueprints from the architect or whoever drew those up, and they will then create that thing. And it's a process. You start with a foundation, you build upward. And if there are mistakes made or the blueprint's not followed, there can be consequences. So to put that into psychology, Erickson teaches us that around ages 3 to 5, we shape our world with what you can consider a blueprint based on nature and nurture. So your environment, the people around you, and the people taking care of you or the people you look up to all shape your blueprint, how you see the world. You might hear a little boy say, when I grow up, I'm going to be a police officer. I'm going to be a fireman. He wants to be a rescuer. That was me. For other kids, little girls, they might want to grow up to be a dancer. Or, for some, they don't get quite the safety and security that they needed. So it's money. They need to make money because they may be scared because you grow up without any money. But either way, that's their blueprint. And so the first thing when dealing with a blueprint is looking at your life today and look at what your blueprint is. You may never even have thought about this, but everybody has a blueprint, an idea of what their life's going to look like and what it will be. So the first thing is understanding you have a blueprint. The second thing is then going on a discovery phase to figure out what that blueprint is. Because when you look at yourself today, are you happy with where you're at? Are the decisions that you've made that have put you in the place you are now, are you happy? If the answer is yes, you're going on the right direction. If the answer is no, it might be a time to look at the blueprint and change it up. In the building world, there's remodeling, there is additions, things you can do to make that better. And it even can go so far as demolition. Sometimes it can be a total demolition. And by a demolition, that would look like having to go all the way down to your foundations, all the way down to your belief systems, and decide, is this what I still believe? Because a lot of times our blueprint is running in the background on autopilot. So subconsciously, you're still continuing to build with that old blueprint. So understand that blueprint, learn about yourself, and decide if it's time for some remodeling. Or in my case, 8 years ago when I divorced and got remarried, complete demolition, complete remodeling, overhaul, rebuild the foundation, the basement, everything. Hardest time in my life, but the most rewarding. So it takes work. There's no magic button. But first of all, you have to know, you have to understand the principles. You don't know what you don't know. And once you discover that, then you can get to work. I'm going to make it up these stairs. Let me see if I can put my phone down, because I got an analogy here I want to show you with my hands. It's much calmer here now. I think the trees block all the wind, but it's pretty nasty. See if I can find a place to set this. Bear with me for a minute. Okay. Might have to get on a soapbox. Yeah, here we go. Okay, so you have your blueprint where you see yourself. Ooh, it dropped down. Where you see yourself and where you are currently, there's a direct correlation, and that can be pain or happiness. So let's say my blueprint is, I want to be a caring, loving person in a healthcare field. I'm just going to go real simple, okay? That's what I've decided to build, and this is where I'm at. Very small amount of pain here. Now, had I decided my blueprint was those things, and here I am over here, still working construction, still doing roofing, a lot of pain. And that's not just, you're welcome, Marcus. I'm glad to help. That's exactly why I'm doing these, because I want to help. I want to help people, and it's information I've learned, so I want to just pass it on. So, you have pain in your life. Why? One indication could be that blueprint you've created and where you are now. So take a look at that, because like I said, there's no reason. The only thing stopping you is you. You can rebuild that blueprint. You can change it up. It's going to be hard work. There is pain involved sometimes, but it's the wind. I get blown away. I really hope this isn't affecting the microphone, but I'm sure it is. But for a small amount of pain, you can trade a lifelong amount of pain if you know where you're going. Your life and where you're at today is the sum of all of the choices that you've made. Granted, there's things that happen that are out of your control, but for the most part, you're in control of your life, and subconsciously, you've been building your life the way you think, your habits. You've been building that without even really knowing. So when you look at where you're at today, the majority of responsibility is on you. And if you're happy with it, yes. If you're not happy with it, it's time for change. And I'm here to tell you that it's not that difficult. It's just being aware of it and making those changes. And for me, I can't live any other way. When I discovered this stuff and put it to work, it has changed me completely. I still go through stuff. I just got out of a bad depression. Still going through stuff. Loss, pain, heartache. but it's a temporary situation. Overall, I'm a happy, content person that's continuing to grow and move forward. You know, part of the 6 basic human needs, growing. So, start today, look at your blueprint, and then start making choices to decide where you want to be in life. I swear, the majority of people that I meet and talk with, I give this analogy of life being a river and we're in our canoe, or we're in our kayak, or we're in a life raft just hanging on. But we're all in the river of life flowing down, and it curves. We live right here on the edge of the Mississippi. It's got all kinds of curves and, backwater and slough. If you just let life carry you along, you're going to wake up one day and say, how the hell did I get here? You didn't realize that whole time that you had a paddle, that you had steering, that you could control it. But you just floated down the river of life saying, well, this is just what life has to offer, and this is just what it's going to be. That's the biggest bunch of bullshit ever. Like I said, there are things that are out of your control. But for the majority of life, you're in control, and you need to realize you have that paddle, and you can steer your direction. And once you understand that, you can take yourself where you want to go in life. For me, that's encouraging, because I don't have to stay in pain. I don't have to keep struggling. I can get the bigger picture and know that emotions and situations are all temporary, but the choices you make are long-lasting. And so make good decisions and decide where you want to be. I just found a really cool stick. I don't want to embarrass my son, but I don't know why he likes this kind of stuff, but rocks and sticks and things that are like unique, for some reason, he thinks they're so cool. I think he's a collector. That's all I have to say for today. I appreciate you joining in. I see I got 7 people here. Let me see if I got anything here. Cherie says something like, live every moment if you've chosen it. So true. Yeah, it is. And the information I got is not like, it's not my own. I mean, I've made it my own, but it's all recycled. You know, you hear it, you put it to use, then you share with other people. And that's how it really should be. We should be conduit. Conduit carries something from one place to another. So like water carries water from one direction to another direction. A pond is stagnant. It just holds water to itself. You can be educated and have all kinds of great information, but if you don't let it flow through you and help others, it's of no use. It's of use to you. But this is the purpose of why I'm doing these lives. So stay safe today with the weather. Keep an eye out. They said golf ball size hail after lunchtime, so be safe out there. I'm thinking about going live again tonight with some Q&A or maybe another topic. I'm not sure, but I'll give you a heads up, because if you want to join my Q&A, that'd be really cool. I'm probably going to plan 5:30 again, but if anybody messages me and says, hey, we have dinner at 5:30, is there any way we could push it back? Like, feedback helps me to figure out how I can help you. So I appreciate you guys. I hope you have a great, wonderful day and stay safe. I love you.